When I first installed i3, one of the first things that I wanted to do was install a wallpaper. Even though I'm hardly ever going to see it, I just like having one set in the background. So let's have a look at how to do this. Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to have a look at a little program called Fe. You've probably already got it installed as an image viewer, so it's a fairly simple image viewer. There's nothing too special about it as that, but if we don't have it installed, we can run sudo pacman, or whatever your package manager is, -s and Fe. So it's a fairly small program, and as an image viewer, it's nothing special. It's just a fairly quick image viewer that just lets you view images. I can't really describe it really any other way besides that. So if we go into my wallpapers folder, as an image viewer, it just lets you cycle through the images, nothing too special there. But one of the other cool things you can do with it, at least with most desktop environments and window managers, GNOME is the exception because it has its own background setter, is you can use it to set the wallpaper of your desktop. I'm not sure what desktop environments also have collisions with it. All I know is that in the man page, it describes GNOME as one of the things that it doesn't work with. So it's possible there are other desktop environments it doesn't work with, and there are other window managers it doesn't work with, but i3 I know it works with, and DWM, and presumably a lot of other ones it also works with. So if we run the man page for Fe, the section that we're looking for is the background section. So in here, it'll tell you all the commands you can use to set a background for your desktop. So if you just use the --bg option, that won't let you set it. That's a montage option. You have to use one of these options in here. I've made the mistake of trying to use that before, and you can't use it. You have to use one of these. So we have options like --bg center, fill, max, scale, tile, and this last one here. So basically when you run one of these commands, it will generate a script for you so that you could, for example, every single time your X server is started, you could run this command in here. So you could run the home directory .fetbg and then run it in the background. And basically that would set your desktop wallpaper. I do it within my i3 config. I don't really think there's any benefits of doing it either way, so really just pick one of them that works. It's such a lightweight program, it really doesn't matter if one of them's just slightly quicker. So if we go into my image folder, if we cd into pictures, into wallpapers, into my desktop wallpapers, I probably should change the name and get rid of the capitals. I don't know, doesn't matter. So if we go Fe, --bg scale, and I've got a ton of images in here. Let's just pick a random one. I have no idea what this image is. Let's just see what it sets it to. So right now I've got this picture of Yuki in here, and now it's going to be set to whatever this OC is in here. So yeah, that's pretty much it as a wallpaper setter. You can obviously do things like --bg center, no capital, and that will give you some black bars around it and make sure that the image just fits in the center. You can actually define what these black bars look like, and if we run the man page for Fe again, --bg center, it describes how to do that with the --image bg. Where is it? Okay, so here. You can give it a different color to put in here, so how do we do this? So if we go, so we could do something like --image. I've never actually run this command before because I've never used it with center. So if we do it like that, yeah, now we have a red background behind the image. I think that looks awful, but you could also do things like fill, which will make it fill the entire screen. And the last two options were max and tile. I don't think I have an image small enough for for tile, but this I think will maintain the aspect ratio, whereas fill will, maintain the aspect ratio and not fill the screen, and fill will fill the screen and maintain the aspect ratio, or something along those lines. You can check out the exact details in the man page. I always run it with scale, so I'm not 100% sure on the details of the other ones. And the last option was tile. As you can see, if I had a smaller image, it would tile across the screen. But if you were using, I don't know, a pattern or something, you could, I guess, make a fairly cool looking wallpaper. But for something like this, it just really doesn't look that great. So I never actually run these commands by hand because I'm lazy, and if I can script it, I'm going to. So in LF, you may have, actually I don't think I've shown you guys in any of the videos. So I've got a command in here called set wallpaper. So if I run BG, that would just set it back to the wallpaper that I had initially. And what that also does will copy that image into my config folder, so I always know what that image that I'm setting to my wallpaper is. So I can actually show you guys that command now. So if we go cl set wallpaper. Okay, so basically, whatever image I have selected in LF, it will copy that into my config folder into a file called wall.png. And then it will set it with fet and not create a fet.bg config file. So if we go into my config folder, so basically it's just copied it in here. So every time that I want to set my wallpaper back to the previous image that I had, it'll always be here. So I do this in case I, for example, want to move around the structure of my images. If I were to do that without actually copying it into my config folder, then I would have to refine that image every time that I wanted to set it. But doing it like this, I don't actually have that issue. So, as I also said, I don't use the X server to initialize my wallpaper. I do that in i3. So if we go into my i3 configs, where is that? CI, I think it is. And we go feh. So every time that i3 starts up, basically what I do is I exec fet with no startup ID. So that basically will just, pretty sure it runs it in the background or something along those lines. I'm not 100% sure. And then it will run it with BG scale, no fet BG, so it won't generate that config file. And then it will set it to that file that is in my config folder. So if I want to change that file without setting it with LF, then I can do that and it's no issue at all. So once again, I would like to reiterate that this may not work with every single desktop environment, every single window manager, GNOME being one obvious exception, which is mentioned in the man page, but there may be some others that it doesn't work with. So if it doesn't, then look at your desktop environment or your window manager. There's probably some issue page about it somewhere, or someone's talked about it on some forum, but for most things, this will work. So if you like this video, remember to smash the like button and leave me a comment down below letting me know what you think. If you've got any ideas for any tutorials that you want me to do, then just let me know and I might cover them at some point. So if you want to see updates and hopefully get told when those videos come out, remember to subscribe and ding the little bell icon down below. And also, because we can't ever trust YouTube to actually push updates to anyone, also go follow my Twitter and my Mastodon because you'll actually see updates there. At least you should, unless they decide to stop pushing updates. So I think that's pretty much everything for me, and I'm out.